Hello, guys. I hope you all are doing well. Just wanted to give you guys a quick market update. So we will be covering multiple assets. It's been a while that I didn't do for you guys an update in regards to the market. Let's start with this. So this is the 22nd of January 2026. Anything that we are talking about in regards to this video is not a financial advice. It's just the way of how exactly um reviewing the market or trading the market or looking at it in a general way. So I'm gonna start with sharing the screen. We're gonna be looking at few scenarios in regards to Bitcoin. Um, just allow me a second. So here you go. That's Bitcoin of everyone. I'm going to be just reviewing for you, like, let's say, a little bit of a high time frame. Then we're going to be talking about like some levels just to consider and to think about it. So a few scenarios that we do have it really here, like let's say in regards to Bitcoin. Um, we might see like let's say some kind of choppiness and move a little bit to the downside, move, struggle here, maybe come to take the lows one more time, or maybe really push and progress further, like let's say toward this area. Now, from here, you need to consider two scenarios. Will the price really show a strength after, like, let's say, a retrace and continue to the upper side to come and to take the highs, or it's going to just struggle here and it's going to drop and it's going to go to the downside? Now, I want us to put things in a clear structure and a clear direction in regards to Bitcoin. For me, the way how exactly I'm looking at this, I'm looking at it as ranges. I don't have really like let's say anything to consider other than ranges in regards to this. And I will be, let me just pull the chart for you so you can look at it, and let's just clear this and this and this. I will clear just the chart a little bit with this one so we can just discuss it accordingly. So for me, I can't really see anything in the chart for now other than a range. You can look at it in any way that it's going to make you feel comfortable. Let's just wait for TradingView to upload. So here you go. Uh, for me, it's just a range. I had the bias at around these levels that, or just starting from here, just to give you like a quick just summary that this was the move that I was looking at it. Prices struggled at around these levels, struggled to hold actually. It gave you a nice sweep to this, then it didn't hold early into the week, then done. Just like, drop and move to the downside. And again, that's the kind of a range that I will be looking at it. So for now, we're really holding this area. I don't have anything to give you, like let's say within um today other than few comments, I would say on the price. We moved pretty much early into the week. That's Tuesday, all right. So all is good in this. We moved early into the week with this drop. Price couldn't hold also inside the Asia range. Started struggling in the mid and then just shifted with the weekly bias toward the downside, came to this area. The price for now, it's not really doing anything. It dropped like in a decent way, I would say, to the downside. And you will be looking at this, like let's say in a way that for me, if I'm looking at it for today, because today is Thursday, it's just like usually a quiet day. But if I'm looking at it just like from a trading scalp trading, that is just Asia high, Asia low of the day. Will we come to take the lows? Will we break, like let's say to progress further? We can come maybe trade to this area. Just be careful on some kind of a price action that, yeah, she might fall, like let's say from around these levels. But for a structure like, it's just too tight of a range. We do have a nice compression from here. Will we squeeze to the upper side or we're not gonna squeeze? It depends really on the move. But if you will be favoring, like let's say playing, like let's say above Asia high, just maintain to keep an eye on the price to see how exactly we are breaking to the upper side. Because as I said, we do have like really, a few scenarios here, like let's say um to look at it and to take it into consideration. One of them it's the bullish one of them it's the bearish. Now, I do prefer definitely to see the price again coming and trading this area. and this region, especially like let's say after the aggressive drop, and then from there we will reassess like let's say accordingly. It depends if she's gonna give us like let's say a decent pullback or she's not gonna give a decent pullback. So like as just like a structure and as the way how exactly I'm looking at it, I'm open to see the price going to lower levels. I'm open to see the price moving to upper levels accordingly. I will be adjusting myself. I'm not interested in shorting Bitcoin, even if it's gonna drop like let's say all the way to the 82. I don't see like let's say any kind of a decent opportunity for me like let's say to trade it. The plan for us was here, if we're going to see a deviation and I started losing it from here, then I'll be looking for the short. It didn't happen with the way how exactly it that I wanted it. We just moved to the downside and just kept rolling down all the way. So I don't have really anything like let's say to do it from here till next week. We will see how exactly it is, but just be careful because this area is not a joke. If the price like at any stage it's gonna do this and it's gonna come to take the lows from here, then in that time you need just to be careful on how exactly the price is moving and how it's behaving. This is not an area that you want really to short it. Yesterday the price came to this area, you started seeing a lot of sell volume that it's coming at around these levels, and a lot of people they went short here. That's a clean trap on this move to the downside. Aggressive shorts, they came at around these levels, and aggressive sell got absorbed fully at around these levels, and you started seeing the move and you started seeing the price coming to the upper side. So you don't want really like let's say to put yourself in some of the trades that it's not really clear. So yeah, that's just like worth just keeping an eye on this and considering it. Same thing that you will be applying it honestly on ETH, and same thing you're going to be applying it on Sol. So that's the kind of structure that you do have it. We saw a nice recovery when it's coming like let's say to the S&P and the Nasdaq coming like let's say filling the gap on both of them in general. We will see really if the New York session it's gonna like as a direction for the day. It looks like the direction is good to continue for a little bit of a move to the upper side. Would they surpass this area, because this is the trouble area that you do have it on Nasdaq? I think if you started surpassing this area, then you're gonna start threatening this and this area, maybe to start preparing into a move to the upper side. My main issue that we are trading just on a low volume in regards to the Nasdaq, but again, chart is the chart. It doesn't matter. Like let's say if you are trading on a low volume, the only thing that you need just to make sure of it that you're not looking for major swings on a breakout, because maybe she's not going to sustain the move. That's all. Structure, if we will be looking at also like let's say something like Sol, you lost the monthly level but you are still holding the yearly pivot level. Still, it's not too clear early in the year sometimes, and yeah, that's absolutely normal to see this kind of a price action early in the year, where again the only thing that you did it as for today for the crypto market and for BTC is just you moved like this away from the yearly open, and coming back like let's say toward it. Still, she can do this. She can even break down a little bit, and then she can reclaim. We will see. Like the asset, obviously, she's not ready. Like let's say to just to expand or to expand to the upper side or to the downside. That's the whole thing. Okay, right? So I don't want to bother you with covering like let's say altcoins, because everything is linked to BTC. I think at this stage, it depends really on what exactly BTC it's gonna do, and upon that just you can somehow apply it like let's say on altcoins. One thing that I want, just to give you my opinion, I think BTC with this move to the downside, it started trading into areas that buyers they are stepping in and they are buying. I'm talking about spot buys. I'm not talking about leverage. I'm not talking about anything. Usually you will be getting into areas where the price, I would call it like let's say discounted areas. And these discounted areas, it doesn't mean that it's just like, a blind long. I'm just saying that, when the price, like, let's say it's at some areas, let's say here, you do have like, some areas where I would consider it, these are premium areas, and some areas that it's discounted areas. I think at a stage where exactly BTC it's trading into, one of the discounted areas. Again, it doesn't mean that it's a blind long. No, not by any chance. That's why we just like wait, we monitor the price and we see how exactly it moves, because she can go a little bit, like let's say further into other discounted zones before she's gonna reverse to the upper side and like let's say to move to the upper side. So as I said, it's just like, a kind of just like, explanation that could this be, would I consider this to be like, let's say, a discounted area? Yeah, I would consider this to be a discounted area because I'm seeing a demand that it's getting triggered at around these levels. And when you see the demand that it's coming, like let's say from, from buyers, then this is an area that the market has an appetite to buy. Now, she can come even lower, she can come lower, and we will monitor and see what exactly could happen at around these levels. I don't have really any kind of a bias for now. I think it is, the realistic thing is to see the prices coming and to take the lows from here or to trade the 82 one more time, maybe the 75 one more time. But there is also another scenario that might happen from here that BTC can even trade the 101 before, like let's say moving to the downside. So I don't want, like let's say, to keep waiting on these kind of things. And the only thing for me on how exactly I'm reacting to things is just trading it as an intra week, just like that. That's the whole thing. So I don't have a high time frame bias means for the swing, but for an intra week, I think all is looking good. Optimal scenario for me is to see from here till next month, like let's say the price is still trading to the downside before making a reversal. One thing maybe to take into consideration that for me, BTC is just trading in a way that it's not like you do have a risk off environment. You just don't have a risk on environment. Means that the liquidity, it's not purely as a risk on environment. And that's why also you're looking at the Nasdaq and the S&P. I know, forget about Nikkei, that's a total different story. But we are looking at Nasdaq and the S&P. I mean, it's been a while that you are just like really doing nothing. Like it's been 4 months period that you are really doing nothing, between just like up and down, up and down. It's like trading, just as I said, on a low volume, and the market needs a direction. Definitely, it needs a direction. It's either we're gonna just like give a retrace to the downside or just continue to the upper side. And I think this direction is we're gonna get a better visibility, on the market within this month and also next month. So that's a kind of direction, and that's a kind of bias that I do have it. Now, this is just like a clean summary. Hopefully, it's helping you guys, like let's say, to navigate things properly when it's coming to what exactly to expect. Now, I do have other things that I wanted to cover it to you just in regards to gold, so you wouldn't be getting somehow I would say confused on what kind of price action that we do have it on gold. First of all, in regards to gold, before even we're going to be talking about this, and I will cover the same for you guys also on Zcash. We're going to just like review it so it can give you, like, let's say, just a better explanation. For me, in regards to gold, as long as the price is really coming, and it came and it retraced, and I was looking mainly to get this kind of a pullback and this kind of a retrace. This is a 2.5% on gold. It's not really a joke. Did it really turn bearish? Not by a single chance. The momentum is still strong. The momentum is still good on the 1 hour and the 4 hours time frame. Gold, actually, it didn't stall. It didn't give you any kind of bearishness. Every single time you are pushing and you are moving to the upper side, you are more moving into a consolidation, especially on this move. It's more of a moving into consolidation, move up, consolidation, move up, consolidation, rip. Now, are we started seeing some kind of, stalling? We wouldn't be progressing too much to the upper side. And then after that, to get a retrace, maybe it's very possible. But still, again, nothing really is bearish here to think about it and to look at it like, let's say that, gold yesterday it get. No, that's absolutely a normal pullback, because the only thing that you get it, in fact, is just a normal retrace to where exactly the price consolidated as a cluster of consolidation. And the only thing that you get it, in fact, is just you swept the liquidity that you had it here. And if anyone just like looked at the price yesterday, and you would be just looking at it as a normal trading session, that was your Asia low, where exactly the day started, and that's your Asia high. and the price literally did nothing except moving all the way from the upper side of the range and to the downside, where exactly swept AG low. And then after that, by the way, after sweeping AG low, you already got a recovery, and the price started moving again back to the upper side, then mid of the range, and then we continue just in this kind of way. This kind of candles, when you are putting it, like, let's say, at the price discovery, don't look at it to be bearish. Usually, when you are moving at, like, let's say, moving to the upper side, and you just continued also moving afterwards. When you are getting, like, let's say, like a daily candle, and you're still like assuming that it's this candle, all right, that you printed, like, let's say, what people they are calling it a bearish, um, stop hunt candle to the upper side, or an invert hammer, or whatever it is. I usually don't look at it, like, let's say, to be like, some major bearishness price action, because like something like, something like this, I wouldn't look at it to be bearish, because usually the price, it comes and it retraces, and it traded, like, let's say, toward the wick usually. So I wouldn't be considering it to be bearish, especially in a price discovery. There is a huge difference when the price is just moving and stalling, and then after that, you just get this stop hunt, and then you start just trading to the downside, and you reject from the range. That's a total different story, but that's not the case of what exactly you do have here. So looking at all of this, of what exactly I'm talking about, that was what happening yesterday. For today, if I'm looking at something, is the normal price action that you do have it. In fact, by the way, the price again did the same exact behavior that you had it here, where the price came and just came into this cluster of consolidation, swept the liquidity from here. Also for today, there is still a decent probability, like, let's say, to push and to move further, like, let's say, to the upper side. The price really, it's not doing anything other than just moving and consolidating to the upper side. So there is really nothing that it's looking bearish on gold. I can't really see it. In fact, like for today, if there is something to monitor and to pay attention to it, let me just move this and take this. Here we go. So we have today, by the way, just the normal ranges for Asia. Price tried to break above it the first time, gave you a little bit of a pullback. It might even continue with breaking to the upper side. As for now, it's not really anything, but you may monitor just like the price. If it's gonna start breaking, like, let's say, above these levels, it might push for you, like, let's say, to come and to grab the liquidity from around these levels and from around these highs. But there is nothing, again, that it's looking like, let's say, really bullish or bearish on the high time frame for gold. For me, as the price, like, let's say, is holding these levels and is holding above it, then he would be favoring higher levels to come. For yesterday, again, we just like saw this kind of a price action that it happened here. If the price started losing this and started moving to the downside, then in that time, yeah, that's shifting and continuing, like, let's say, with a lower direction and the move to the downside. If that's not the case, still momentum is fine. I am in a short because usually, like, let's say, I do take my chances into these max extension moves. Many moves that it happened, like, let's say, within this week, that it was just like kind of clean for the price, that it's not really sweeping liquidities and it leaves liquidity behind, and that's not the usual kind of behavior that you do have it on gold. So at some stage, I'm expecting gold, like, let's say, to come to the downside before again continuing to the upper side. But for me now, that's how exactly it is. That's how exactly the case. Yeah, as I said, just the only thing that you just like, you don't look at it maybe for a few pips to the upper side, if in case just it broke, like, let's say, above this level, and without breaking above it, then just monitor if the price is gonna lose this area. Maybe you're gonna trade again toward, like, let's say, a little bit toward lower levels. You can't really look into it that it's just turning bearish or it's just flipping momentum unless you do lose this level. As long as you're not losing it, then it's looking absolutely fine. So that's just like, the kind of things that I'm looking at it. Um, about the crypto market and about Bitcoin, guys. It's not really something to confuse you, or it's not really something, like, let's say, to look at it that BTC, the crypto market, it's not like before. Even, by the way, yesterday I was just like looking at some of the things that Benjamin, that he looked at it like Bitcoin crypto market, it was better before the government. In fact, you need the regulations, you need all these kind of things because you need the money to hit the market. Without it, you're not going to hit the market, all right? And it's fine, it's good, but the only thing that you do have it in the crypto market that it's taking its own time. BTC did an amazing move last year, and this year is just allow it a little bit of time when the liquidity is going to hit the market. Then in that time you're going to see decent moves that it's coming again, to the market, and it's looking good again, but that's not the case for now. It's fine. It could happen, and it could move in this way, and yeah, that's the kind of things that you would be looking at it in general. um Other than this, yeah, nothing really to look at it and to pay attention to. Now, few of the things that I wanted just to talk about it, which it's coming, like, let's say, in regards to the Dixie. Why? Because the Dixie, it made almost the same exact move, where you moved away from the yearly open and you shifted away from it. Now you are coming to retest it. Just keep an eye on Dixie with the yearly open, because I mean, for now, I'm favoring to see lower levels to come and Dixie again to come and to trade, like, let's say, toward lower levels with this move, like, let's say, in the coming few days. This will give you also a decent opportunity when you are trading against Dixie, when you are trading, things that it's against the dollar. When, as an example, I'm looking for GPP USD, maybe it's gonna pull, like, let's say, for you, decent moves to the upper side when it's coming to this. So I'm taking slightly a bias, not a bias, I'm taking a direction for the Dixie to see it trading toward lower levels. I'm monitoring the price on what exactly it's going to do in the coming few days around the yearly open. And that's pretty much, like, let's say, something to pay attention to it. Still, in regards to Nikkei, JER, and also I'm still favoring to see, like, let's say, higher levels, in the coming few days on them. So that's what I'm looking at it. And upon that, we will adjust things accordingly. Also, two things to cover it. I don't have anything other than this play and this setup that I updated you on it when it's coming to NatGas. For now, I'm chilling on it. It is a strong, the yearly and the move. It's a strong. I don't have anything other than just giving you, like, let's say, a place that it could be that it could follow, just like, the normal Asia high, Asia low of Monday that I'm trading it. Because, by the way, this week the exposure that I got it on NatGas, it wasn't, like, let's say, from this area. The last play that I played it with you guys, it was from here. Then we found the market that it opened with a gap up. The play for me here, it was a little bit clear in regards, like, let's say, to the move. We started chasing the price when we started moving to the upper side, and the price started moving to the upper side. We started just chasing the price, like, let's say, toward higher levels. That's what we did, and we just moved with it, like, let's say, toward the upper levels. So that's a kind of things that, like, let's say, that we looked at it. In regards to US oil, there is really nothing. It's not really progressing above this, like, so there is really nothing, like, let's say, to hold it on the setup. You can go check the post that I left it to you on X. So I'm cutting the trade with a little bit of a profit, but I think we see more lower levels, like, let's say, to the downside in regards, like, let's say, to US oil before moving back, like, let's say, to upper levels. Maybe she's not ready to start, trending and moving to the upper side. Maybe she needs more time and still, like, let's say, levels to the downside to um after that, like, let's say, to start reversing and moving to the upper side. That's in general the kind of structure that I do have it all across, like, let's say, the market. Today might be a boring day because it's Thursday. Usually you don't have that much of moves, like, let's say, into Thursday. But again, for Bitcoin, just please be patient on Bitcoin, and don't, like, just, like, trade it, try on some kind of maybe intra-week and intraday. There is no bias, like, let's say, to play it. I remember, like, let's say, last week and the week before, when everyone was just, like, talking about Bitcoin, just like, looking, I'm swing and I'm looking for all-time high. Fine, you're swing and you round the trip all your trade. And why I'm gonna round the trip such a move after a 10% move to the upper side? It's just, for me, it doesn't make sense. I'm not seeing swing opportunities yet. I just do prefer, like, let's say, just to play it, in this way, just looking for it, like, let's say, to to move just accordingly. And for today, as I said, Thursday, don't put yourself, like, let's say, in too big of, like, let's say, an exposure. Keep your trades light, keep your size light, and just maybe look, like, let's say, just for a normal, I would say, daily setups, or just like, scalp or something like this. I don't see really, like, let's say, any big opportunities to look at it from around these levels. I'm not seeing it, honestly. Um, so that's all. I really don't have, like, let's say, any other thing, like, let's say, to look at it. It should be the coming few days. It should be major moves, like, let's say, to start taking a direction maybe from February and onwards. And that's the time that, in fact, like, you don't want, like, really to. It's not like you don't want to miss it, but you just don't want, like, let's say, to take, like, let's say, just like wrong biases and wrong directions in regards to this. I think the market is gonna really take, like, let's say, some direction very soon, and it's gonna be more beautiful for us to play it, and just like, to take a decision where these assets is just moving to the upper side or expanding to the upper side, and these assets is just like, moving to the downside. So it's gonna help you navigate things, like, let's say, in a better way. But for now, that's the kind of structure that you do have it around, like, let's say, the assets still hovering around the yearly open. And for that, when you are hovering around the yearly open, you don't really have that much of a space to take a high time frame bias. That's pretty much it from my side, guys. I don't have really, like, let's say, any other thing to cover it for you other than these things. I wish you all the best and have an amazing day. And I wish you also an amazing week, or the rest of the week for Friday. Keep your size light. That's my advice for you. And, maybe get that kind of a behavior that usually we always learned it from the best, from the uncle. Maybe, like, be active really early in the month, and start slowing down a little bit, toward the end of it, because toward the end of it is just like, more of a choppiness more than a clean price action that you can trade. That's all from my side. Wish you all the best, and we'll catch up with you in the next live. Cheers. Bye bye.